It's Monday night, and you know what that means. It's time for MRC. Bienvenue à Montreal. Welcome to MRC from Canada. Tonight we're live at the Circuit du Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal, Canada for round 2 of season 10. Tonight we are kicking off with the Tier 2 boys and girls to get your frisky Monday night manic and wet and exciting. Although it could be dry, it could be wet. We'll find out later. And just to get things that little bit more frothy, I'm joined in a very, very cozy comms box by Connor Hard on Hardy. Connor, welcome.
You alright?
I'm good. Yourself?
I was hoping you was going to say it was going to get frisky. That's what I was hoping you was going to say.
Tiny Temper will be agreeing with that straight away.
Yeah.
So, tonight, Connor, how are you feeling? You good?
I'm ready. I used to love this track until I started practicing it yesterday, and then now I hate it.
Started practicing yesterday?
I've had no time all week, and then I jumped on yesterday, and I just wanted to end everything when I started driving laps of this track. To be honest, it's just pain, but we'll get there, as we always do. So, Chris Bailey for the win in Tier 1, as we know.
You're deluded, my friend. I can only dream. Anywho, the Circuit du Gilles Villeneuve is one of the quickest laps on the F1 calendar, one of the shortest laps on the F1 calendar. Lap times can be anything between 1:09 and 1:13 in qualifying, and in the race anything between low teens up to the 20 mark. So a very quick lap, not a lot of corners to contest, but nevertheless plenty of excitement and always a lot of opportunity for drama. We're only in round 2, so the championship's obviously very open. No one's really run away yet, so everyone will be looking to make a statement, and this is a track where even if you have a bad qualifying, you can fight through to the front and make a name for yourself. Connor, is this a track you enjoy?
Used to be, yes.
Yeah, there's something wrong with this game where it feels like ice.
Yeah, when you get in a rhythm, it's okay, but yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well, the first car to set a lap is Ryan, the red car Rambo, although he's just gone straight on at the final chicane, so let's find somebody else. Who can we find? Oh, this is going to be quick.
It's the Gatian.
Gatian, where is Gatian? Here he is in the AlphaTauri. Talk us through the lap, Connor.
Yeah. So now he's just here turn 1. He didn't take as much coverage as you'd expect, but in turn 2, keep it nice and tight and be so careful on the exit because it is easy to lose it. Now into turn 3 and 4, very tight complex, 75 meters roughly for the braking. Nice on. You got to be careful on both curves because it's so easy to invalidate. Got so close to the wall the exit now. For turn 6, he's braking about the black board, keeping it nice and tight on the first one. Second one, you got to just let the car run out wide. That has to navigate really well. Now on the run down to turn 8, you've got to brake just before the bridge starts. Oh, he's run a bit deep and it's going to cost him a lot of time, but now heading down to the hairpin, you'll brake just after the 100-meter board. In qualifying, you've got to keep it nice and tight and then be so careful on your throttle on the exit because it is so easy to lose it, but he is very good. Now he's going to get a nice little toe from, I think it's the Alfa Romeo just in front of him. No, he's not, because the Alfa Romeo is being a bit nasty, but you're going to brake just after the 100-meter board. And the first one, you've got to cut a lot of the right one to sort of line up the second one, and he should be good. Avoid the wall of champions because I swear it moves towards you at times on this track, and then keep a tight line straight to the line. 1:13, one good banker. Exactly,
that's the first benchmark popped in, and of course I'm sure we'll see the times tumble. Gini not quite emulating his hero Fernando Alonso by setting the timing screens alight, although he did have a purple final sector. It's interesting, so you will see a lot of variation of, I'm sure, different setups. A lot of people here like to go low drag, of course. You've got a lot of straight line speed, but then if you run a bit more aero, you can carry more speed through the corners, and if there is that risk of rain, which does happen in Canada, you will be more equipped for it.
11.8 from Mark, by the way. What a banker.
He's not messing around with the playoffs.
He's definitely not.
He's getting with it. B17 and P2. He's got a cracking lap on the board. Simba, P3. Interesting, B17 is racing Tier 1 as well later, so the Tier 3 driver is stepping up in 2 tiers above where he would normally race. Fair play, good to see it. Fox River the next across the line. P5 up the ding. And he's immediately... Oh wow, usurped by Eddie Dust, 11.7. The usurper. in the
I'll tell you what,
Alfa
that
Romeo.
man looks like he could be a little dark horse for the championship, because I don't know if you saw him in Spain, his pace was ridiculous.
Oh, yeah,
and
it was
now, again,
terrifying.
setting an early benchmark.
Yeah. Our reigning champion Hodgie is in P2. Lorpe, definitely not someone you want to dismiss. The Dutch Dynamo in P3. B17, as we mentioned, P4. Sociopath P5. Simba currently in P6. Fox P7. Gastian 8th. Genie 9th. And 10th is Kaiser Soze. But he's on a better lap. Can he improve? Doesn't look like he will. Oh, he does. He goes P8. Okay, there we go. We still only have 11 cars. Dumbest Hornet is the 11th car to set a lap. Only got 11 cars of the 20 set a time. 5 of them are in the pits that haven't set times yet. Fanning is on our outlap.
It's also very good to see Sambao in Tier 2.
It is. I do apologise. I hadn't noticed Sambao is representing. Good to see. Fanning is now starting his flying lap. He's very attacking on that first corner there. As you mentioned, you want to take a lot of curb. Now, turn 2, there's 2 different lines you can take. You take the wide line, plenty of grip, or the more direct straight line up the inside. However, there is less traction there.
Oh, Alex has just clipped the Wall of Champions, but he's got away with it and gone into third, but he lost about 3 or 4 tenths from hitting the Wall of Champions.
Ooh, is that a good omen for him in the race, or is that just not going to help him at all? Will that rile the nerves up? Fanning, meanwhile, he's not waiting around to get a lap in. All low, right up to the track limit line, through the bridge section, heading down to the hairpin. This is the favourite overtaking manoeuvre for many. If you're feeling brave, get the DRS, then get the move done before the DRS zone actually activates. Fanning keeps it nice and neat. Again, you can take several different lines through that hairpin.
I was going to say, I liked Fanning's line there. He wasn't as tight to it, which meant his exit was less compromised, so
exactly.
He was very smart with that.
Exactly. If you go too tight, you lose too much time by being too neat. Brake hard at the 100-metre board, throws it into the final chicane, he invalidates!
Oh, yeah, he just missed the turn-in for the first one of the 2 corners, and then, yeah.
Indeed, he invalidated. Would have put him P7 or P8, I believe, had he kept it clean, but unfortunately he did not. Sambao on a lap, P16 currently, he's gone wide. Ooh, bit messy there from Sambao.
Single Track's just starting his as well.
Indeed. He's sporting a new helmet this week. It's a metallic red one.
Yeah, he is, and it still doesn't look right seeing him in an Alpine though.
Yeah, the Baguette Mobile. I mean, I know he's got the sim to suit it, but not a fan.
He might have to be called Croissant Man or something from now on.
Well, they do speak French in Montreal. It is one of the 2 languages there. They are a bilingual city.
I tell you what though, apparently he's just done a purple first and middle.
Although that could be relative to the cars around him rather than,
be,
as we know, the game is silly like this.
It has been a very tidy lap though, so far.
Well, it's the only thing tidy about him. I'll be in trouble later. I'll be in some trouble later. Yeah, I might find that I've been kicked out of the league before Tier 1 starts, but Single Track heads towards the line. He doesn't take the tight line, but goes P8. Still under 1 minute 12.6, just behind Simba.
Popped one slightly out of the blue. That is Simba into 7th. That's a good lap from him as well.
It is indeed. Monster in the Williams, is currently last. He's out on track, just invalidated his lap. I'm sure he'll find something. Woomax, a man who won a couple of races last season in this tier, formerly in Tier 1. We know just how quick he is. Let's see how his lap goes. So, Ilian, what have you got for us? The car he's in, the Red Bull, was the dominant car in both the opening rounds of this season so far in both Bahrain and Saudi Arabia. Can it be dominant here in Canada in MRC?
I'll tell you, the man to watch at the minute, Gatian, he's absolutely flying.
Yeah, talk us through it.
4 tenths up at the minute in the middle sector.
Let's come back to Woomax after. Let's watch Gatian finish this lap. Currently P12 with a 1 minute 13.195. He's just got the final chicane to go. Brakes very late, about 75 metres, and he takes 2 steps to turn in. I think he's lost a lot of time there. Probably too late on the brakes.
A little bit on the first part of it, didn't he?
Yeah, he improves, but he doesn't improve by enough.
Dumbest Hornets jumped to 9th as well, so he's made a big improvement there.
Indeed. Now Woomax, currently P19, one of 5 drivers not to have a lap time in at the present. What can the man in the Red Bull do? Thundering down the back straight. Here we go. Takes his break point for the final corner. throws it in, very committed into that final corner.
Massive
Massive
switch!
Wow, that was committed.
Wow.
And he's bailed on that lap. Tell you what,
that was so good until the traction, wasn't it? Wow.
It was. He was committed. Another man without a lap time currently, Carl McBitty-Evans. Indeed, what a lap from the McLaren man. 1:11.8, almost matching his teammate. Carl, it looked like he had a bit of traffic there. I'm not sure who it was, but he's now going to get a slipstream on the run down to the final corner. What can Carl, the McBitties, Hobnob Edens do?
Let's have a look.
Brakes nice and late. It's a conservative line in the final corner. He wants to get a lap time on the board, I'm sure. He can go for attack mode afterwards. Thunders towards the line. It's a 12.8. He goes P13. Now
good
then.
Lap from Carl. Now, DRS Julian, he's invalidated a few times. I think he's already used 2 sets of softs, so he's not going to be delighted. But let's have a look at Fanning. He's just come.
Fanning's not on a lap.
I think this is a cool down lap.
Yeah, he's going for another one. Let's see. Eddie Dust, by the way, is 3 tenths up. Our current pole sitter is 3 tenths up on himself.
This
currently a 1:11.7. This guy right now, the pace he's putting in.
Oh, he hit the wall of champions!
The pace he's putting in right now could give a few Tier 1 boys a thing to remember. And he still improves even with that contact of the wall. 1:11.6.
By a 10 with quite a big whack on the wall of champions. And that was a lot bigger than Alex's his teammates earlier as well.
Indeed, his teammate is coming through the final corner. That was a great line through that final chicane. Thunders towards the line. Alex goes P2 with a 1:11.6 and Alpha 1-2. Both 11.6s. McLaren 3-4. Both 11.8s.
Yeah, Fanning has invalidated, so he won't be happy with that at all. Sociopath is also another man on the lap, so I wonder if he's going to improve.
He is round the final corner. He's a bit slow, I think.
He's on the out lap. Yeah.
Ah, dear. Just notice B17 P6 with a 1:12.2. That is a very competitive time. And from a Tier 3 driver who's stepping up as reserve, that, I think, deserves more praise than it's currently has.
Yeah, that's in my head, run through.
B17, mate, great job. We love to see that. Right,
yeah, just
who
don't
can
do
we find?
Wednesday, please. I've just realised him and Fox have the exact same time.
Oh, they do. B17 must have set it first.
Yeah, I'm not sure how it works on this game, but who knows?
Sociopath's a 10th up in the first sector on himself. This would put him in the mix for that P6 slot with B17 and the Fox. Sociopath rounds the chicane.
Through 8 and 9 then, that was very quick.
How late does he break for the hairpin? He's just over a 10th up now. He's found nearly half a 10th in that middle sector. Now, a good final sector here will gain him 2 places provisionally on the grid. What can he find in this final section? He's out of VRS though. He's on a personal best lap, but he's ran out of VRS.
Yeah, I think he forgot to turn it off. Because I did notice he crossed the line with about 50% of his DRS left. So I wonder if he invalidated early and forgot to recharge it.
Oh dear. That's criminal.
Yeah,
Sociopath. He's still improved though, somehow. He's still improved.
It cost him though nearly about 2 tenths on what he was though, that's the issue, but...
Indeed.
It's not the worst. Let's have a look at Mr. Red Car Rambo, because I think
I've just shown on board with him as well actually, funnily enough. The Mercedes round the final corner, heads to the line. I believe this is an outlap. Let's see what the man from Red Car can do. Plenty of VRS in the tank on that Mercedes. You can see it on the wheel. He dressed a little bit wide mid-corner on turn 2. You can do that as long as you get on the throttle smoothly. Brakes at 75. A little bit. Oh, he's just you say that. Oh, he's been collided by Fanning of all people. His good friend Fanning.
Fanning's now out as well, which is...
Ryan's been given a 5-place grid penalty for that. Fanning is P14 at the present. Ryan lost it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he did.
So Ryan lost it, unfortunately, and Fanning just had nowhere to go. And we know that they are good friends, so they'll probably be discussing that privately. I don't imagine anything will come of that.
Be there listening to that.
They'll talk it out between them. They're mature boys when they want to be.
Yeah.
So Womax is a man I feel is a little bit out of position here. What can Ilian do in the first sector? He sets a personal best. That is what you need to do if you want to improve your lap time.
I'm on board with his teammate at the minute, Julian. He's under a lot of pressure to try and get a lap on the board.
He is. He is indeed. DRS Julian and Ilian.
Oh, he's round! He lost his wing.
Oh no, Womax is 300ths up after the second sector as he heads down the back straight. Let's see what he can do with this lap with 3 minutes of the session to go. Get your laps in now, everyone. Here we go. Rumax takes a very central line. He's pitting. Yep. Anyway.
The man to watch, Lorpy. He's a 10th up in the first sector.
Indeed.
Oh, he's got so close to the wall though, but now he's coming under the bridge. So I wonder how's his middle sector going to be. I think he may have lost a bit of time though early on, but if he can carry this on, he could be on the fringes of pole.
Of course, of course.
2/10 up. This is going to be putting him potentially top 3 at least.
This could jump. Bear on, there's 3 drivers in the 1:11.8. This could literally gain him 3 positions, maybe more if he has a good final sector. As you mentioned, he is in the hunt for pole position here. 2 minutes to go. So he's got another lap in if he needs it. There we go. Attacks the final corners. Lots of speed through both curves. Nice and clean. Heads to the line. What can Lawrence do? P3, 11.7.
Wow, good luck.
Wow, less than a 10th from pole. So close yet so far. He's got time to cool it down and go again if he's got the fuel. Hodgie, meanwhile, is a 10th up through the first sector. Comes under the bridge. What can Hodgson do? Just cuts the corner but doesn't invalidate crucially. Cuts a lot of curb there. I thought he might have lost his lap for it. Here we go. He's now 1/4 of a second up almost in that middle sector and it's purple. Wow, so Hodgie's now got the benefit of a couple of cars he could get a tow from. This in the final sector could be vital for his lap time.
What Fox could be on pole.
Fox is P4.
So close.
Here comes Hodgie. He's got a lot of cars ahead of him. Hopefully they get out of the way or just keep going and drag him along. Oh wow, there's an Alpine getting out of sorts in the final corner. What can Mark do? P1, 11.5.
His 2 main pole contend. Don't forget, like, Eddie definitely has time in him as well because of the fact that he hit the wall of champions and he's just started his lap, so...
Indeed.
Oh, big twitch invalidated!
Eddie Dust was invalidated. What can Alex do? Alex just behind them, both on track. Alex keeps it clean. There's a lot of traffic there, though. He's matched his first sector, so that's fine. Plenty to work with there for Mr. Ajeric.
He's a man that we all know has the one lap speed definitely of anyone in this league.
He does. Oh, how did he not invalidate there? Right on the edge. Through the chicane. Here we go, into the hairpin. Alex is half a 10th up. This... Oh, so deep! That would have lost his lap, frankly. That would have cost him too much. He will gain time on the exit, but not as much as he's lost. Oh, no.
Simba's done for quali. He's...
As is Soze. Eddie Dust pits. Sociopath pits. Remax and DRS Julian, the Red Bulls, have abandoned their laps. Alex has invalidated the final corner.
Dummist is on a good lap. He's 3/10 up in the middle sector. So Dummist Hornet may be on an improvement here.
Here we go. The Aston Martin man, 1/4 second up after the middle sector. Where can he put the Aston Martin? P12.
Good improvement. Genie.
Not a lap. B17. What can B17 do? Oh, he improves, but not enough to improve his position. Stays P8.
Good showing from him, though, as we said earlier.
Very good.
Showing.
Monster picks.
It's done.
Ryan's on the better lap. What can Ryan do? He has got a 5-place penalty for that instant referring earlier. What can Ryan do? P14.
I've got no wrong wing.
Ryan goes P14.
That's it.
Yep, that is your session, everybody. So, Mark Hodgson, reigning Tier 2 champion, takes pole position. Eddie Dust and Alex Ajeric make it an Alpha 2-3. Lorpy just P4. Fox River P5. Kaiser Soze P6. Simba P7. B17 in P8. 9th single track. 10th Genie. The rest of the grid made up by Gatian, Dennis Hornet, Sociopath, Red Car, Real Madrid Rambo, Biggs, Monster, Fanning, Remax, Sambal, and DRS Julian.
Yeah, I think Julian will be kicking himself a little bit. He had a couple of silly mistakes on his, but he's got a whole race ahead of him now to make up for it. So.
Indeed. Speaking of which, Martin Hill says it's possible for a wet race.
Well, that's good.
Oh dear. So who set the car up for the wet? Who set the car up for the dry? That's going to be crucial. Fabian Scholten says hello. Hello to the milkman. times on the screen. We just ran through them, but feel free to have a gaze. Hello to Saviour, who's on holiday in Spain. We miss you. We miss you a lot, my friend.
Ryan
We'll see you soon.
Can't see a breaking board because of his headache.
Oh dear. I hope he feels better soon. And of course, hello to Mandy as well. Monster says he got blocked. No, sorry, his wheel slipped. He got no confidence when he got invalidations in. I can understand you there, my friend. It's a hard track to get a rhythm at.
Definitely.
Martin says he was blocked on his hot lap. Yeah, leave that there, Mr. Hills. Get that in stewarding, and we'll discuss that later. Anyway,
I'm sure we'll see
so
that.
as we said, Mark Hodgson, congratulations on your pole position. Let's see if you can hold that in the race. Connor, who is your prediction for the race?
I'm going for Eddie Dust because after last week he was so unlucky because of the safety car at the end. Like Fox managed to do a great job at defending him as well. I just think Eddie Dust is looking very strong so far this season. And you?
It's raining! There's some rain. Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh, wow. Okay. That is
changed a lot, hasn't it?
Yeah. Wow.
I think interesting. There is a hand up in Stewart. I'm wondering if he's reporting the game for rain. No, the head steward wouldn't do that, would he?
The head steward would not call it off for a bit of rain. He loves the soggy stuff. We know he does.
No, he definitely doesn't. I don't think he does on this game, but but let's see. Are you a bit of a wet master around this track?
I enjoyed the rain on Friday in MRCX. I found it quite fun. I went from P5 on the grid to P2 in it.
Rain, bro.
Well, it's fun, full stop. Let's come back to predictions. I'm going to make my dark horse for the day Lorpy in the Williams. I think Lorpy's the man. But I also want to keep an eye on Rumax in P17.
There's another person I'm going to mention here as well who is very good in the wet, who I think could end up scoring a lot of points with it. That's Mr. Carl Edens.
Yeah, McBitty. He's a man who can keep his head down when it's a bit difficult. It doesn't always go for that silly move.
Better, honestly,
as well. He plays the percentages, and in the rain, that is what you want to do. You want to play sensible, play safe, bring the car home. Some people like to go all in. He likes to bring the car home. That is what you need to do when the going gets tough.
Yeah, definitely agree. These conditions are so... Like, this track is crazy difficult in the dry, so in the wet, it's just going to be about... One, who can get the least penalties, and two, who can keep it out of that wall of champions, most importantly.
Indeed. Of course, the last time that MRC raced here was the MRC Race of Champions. Which you featured in. I wasn't going to. It was on my list of if I need some desperate chat. But
I want it on track.
Lurapal won. Europal won that race.
I want it on track. I'm the champion of champions. That's what I
am.
Lurapal is just in Connor Hardy's shadow. I'm joking.
I can't even joke, my friend. I can't even.
He was in a Williams. I was in a Red Bull. So, says a lot.
Well, yeah, it does. The Williams is a mighty car, the Red Bull's a rubbish car.
Now, what do you think genuinely of this track, the run down to turn 1? It's nowhere near long enough, is it?
I made a move here on Friday night for P1, off the line here. But anyway, let's come back to that shortly. The grid has formed. Sambao is not formed properly, so he'll lose a little bit of ground on his grid spot. But we wait for the lights. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we are racing. And immediately, that's a great start from Hodgie. The Alfa Romeo has definitely read him though. Eddie Dust and Alex are both ready to pounce. They're all going a bit wide at turn 1 though. And look at this side by side. So many cars. Lorpy's had a big twitch. We've got a Haas in the wall. I believe that's B17. And now we've got Simba all over Kaiser Soze, our tier 3 champion who's come up. And look at all the cars side by side.
Wing gone flying.
Yeah, just looking from the back of the Aston Hornet. We've got Fanning side by side with B17. someone's front wing went flying. Womack is up to P15.
Genie's. He's lost his whole front wing.
Oh no, that's going to be a nightmare. We see Genie here just holding up. Just a little bit of group here. Oh, no, Storm's won it. Sorry, Genie. Yeah, I can see he's lost some wing there. He's definitely be struggling for some grip round in these conditions. And now Keen goes straight on. Yeah, Genie and Sociopath both had no grip on the corner entrance there, and they dropped to the back of the field. Oh dear, disaster start for them. But back to the front, Hodgie has 6/10 over the Alpha Joe, Eddie Dust and Alex Ajeric. Fox had a good start. He's up to P4. Lorpy's dropped down to P5. He's under big threat from Kaiser Soze. So then the wet will have to think very long and hard about where he's going to make a move. With DRS not available, this will become a very strong session for anyone who's got confidence in these conditions. Single Track is one of those people. He's definitely running a bit higher wing, looking at the back of the McLaren of Simba. Can he make that count though?
Carl is also in with wing damage. He's lost an end plate. Mr. McBitty's on knob.
DRS Julian having a look at Fanning now. The Red Bull on the Alpha Tauri.
He is Kaiser Soze as well. Look at him right on the back of Lorpy.
And then the Red Car Rambo's just behind DRS Julian and Fanning, looking to get vengeance maybe on Fanning for that incident in qualifying. Womack just behind him. Single Track is out! There he is on the right hand side of the second DRS zone. Just after the corner, he's in the wall on the right hand side. He must have lost it on the corner exit, and we have, I believe, a virtual safety car.
Wow, that was a hectic start to the race, wasn't it?
Oh wow, that was, I mean, rain, Canada, yeah, was always going to have something happen.
I'm quite impressed that, I mean, there was only 2 pitters on the first lap, and we actually made it round fairly okay with all the cars. There wasn't many spins or anything, was there? So
no, it was pretty calm. I mean, it could have been worse. Martin straight away in the YouTube chat, he's fuming. It's always disappointing to retire from a race, especially so early on. A lot of the drivers practice all week on a regular basis to try and get a good result, and then to retire so early is always disappointing. Gassian's in the pits. He's taking that chance for a cheap pit stop. What is Gassian doing in the pits though? Is he getting a new wing? He is getting a new wing, and we have a green track. We are racing again. So Hodgie has second lead to the Alfa Romeo duo. And there's a 2.5 back to Fox. A further 2.5 to Kaiser Soze. Lorpy's down. Lorpy has had a moment.
Turn 4 by the looks of it. So
indeed, disaster for the Williams man. He was having a great start, and it looks like the Chris Kerr strikes again.
Lost his wing as well.
Indeed. Let's stick with the front couple right now. Alex Ajeric looks like someone who could, if team orders are not in place, have a little go at his teammate. He looks a little bit more confident right now. It's going to be interesting to see who has got the grip right now, who has got a more sensible setup for these conditions.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to know how many of them have gone for wet setups knowing this rain was coming. So,
well, that's the thing. Oh, Hodgie's had a moment in the final corner. Eddie Dust is all over him suddenly. Hodge had over a second lead, and now that's only half a second.
Lap, though, just about. So,
indeed, all Kaiser Soze's now stolen that. Strong on board with Eddie Dust. We have a fight for the lead. This is what we want to see.
Hash round. I think it's B17 at the Wall of Champions.
Oh no, we have a full safety car now.
Yeah, he's lost his wing at the Wall of Champions, so at least the safety cars come out and kept him. I think Genie and Carl will be delighted as well, because it means they're going to be able to catch right back up as well. So
Lorpy will get his pit stop in to fix that wing. We have an unhappy Martin Hills, and again I'm sure we're going to hear more about that one later. Unfortunately for him, I think there might have been more to that than met the eye initially. So whilst we let the cars form round for the safety car formation, Connor, Canada's got many a good throwback race. What stands out for you when someone says Canadian Grand Prix? Of course.
When that Jensen, like I wasn't even necessarily a massive Jensen fan, but that was the day when I realised, like, okay, this man actually deserved the world title that he won and deserves to be at the front of the grid because, well, I know you probably weren't his biggest fan that day because of what happened with Hamilton or whatever. But
I still think that was Button's fault.
Away the quality. It might be one of the greatest drives I've ever seen in my life, genuinely.
Yeah. He got lucky with the safety cars and the restarts and the re-gridding and all that, but he also delivered on track when it mattered. He delivered.
Sebastian's mistake at the end as well, but
Bossel job Vettel.
He was easily the fastest driver on that track by a country mile.
Oh yeah, he did a great job that day.
So, yeah, 2011 was great. Trying to think of other great Canadian Grand Prix. I can't think of all too many. There's been some great ones. I think the one where Ricciardo won as well. That was
Hamilton's car broke down, didn't it? And then Rosberg's brakes started to go, and Ricciardo made a move for the lead.
Issues.
Yeah, Hamilton's car actually has retired. Rosberg, he then picked him off, and Ricciardo went to win. It was a great day. Speaking of first wins, Hamilton got his first win here at Canada in 2007. He got his first pole and his first win here. He actually had to do 4 safety car restarts, with a certain Fernando Alonso and Kimi Raikkonen right behind him in prime form, and delivered. He was the clear dominant driver of the day. So Ricciardo and Hamilton both got their first wins here, as did Robert Kubica. Only the greats get their first win at Canada. Only greats.
I remember his huge airplane crash here in, I think it was...
That was 07, that was Hamilton's year. Yeah.
That was that crash was awful, wasn't it?
But then he went full circle by winning it the following year.
Yeah, of course, but still, I think that's actually probably one of the biggest crashes I've seen, genuinely, other than, like, obviously Grosjean at Bahrain and maybe Zhou last year.
Of course.
That was huge, that Kubica crash. But
of course.
I think this is a track that has brought a lot of memories in the past, though, without a doubt.
Oh, of course. I mean, it's a firm favourite of a lot of drivers, and you can see why. It's a very fun track. Julian's retired behind the safety car at the Wall of Champions.
Wow, that is very, very unlucky.
Wow. So we're 2 cars down. It's lap 6. We're 2 cars down. We've had a VSC and a full safety car. And now we're going to talk about another Canadian sensation. It's the return of food chat. It's the return of food chat. Yes. Now, if you're familiar with the term cheese, chips and gravy,
yes,
the god tier food that it is, you'll be familiar with this is a British invention, and that poutine, which is a twist on cheese, chips and gravy,
sounds like the leader of Russia, but
it's the minority food. Cheese, chips and gravy is the top food here, and the Canadians try to twist it and make it their national dish. It's nice, but cheese, chips and gravy is better. Facts.
So have you had that then?
I have.
The Canadian version.
Poutine. It is very nice, but essentially cheese, chips and gravy is the OG meal.
So would you go to Canada though?
I'd love to go to Canada. Montreal, as soon as the 6, would be a great thing to go to. Oh yeah.
I'd love to. Like, this is one to watch on TV. I think this is one of the best tracks to. You usually get a banger here. Usually.
Oh yeah, straight up. It's a track where you can overtake, you can fight, and the weather can get a bit frisky, as we said earlier. So you can get all sorts happen, and safety cars are aplenty. And
safety cars coming in this lap. So.
Indeed, Hodgie is lining up to round the final corner. The safety car has disappeared. When will Hodgie go? I would imagine out the final corner, because that's where no one else can get on the throttle. But he's waiting a little longer. He's going to take him to the line.
Yeah.
And he's got his foot down now, but look at this. Kaiser Soze's had a collision with Fox River. The Alfa Romeos are side by side in turn 1. And Eddie's gone wide. He's going to have to let Alex through, I think. Oh, Eddie's blocked his teammate.
There's contact between the 2 Alphas.
Eddie has been blocked. Eddie has been unfortunately going off track, but by coming on, he's compromised his teammate. Alex will be furious because Fox nearly got past him. Kaiser Soze. Oh, Fox hit the wall.
I do wonder if Fox may have a bit of rear wing damage from his contact with Kaiser, because he's all over the place.
He might well be. Oh dear, Sociopath now making moves. In fact, Sociopath's got some straight line speed to really threaten Kaiser Soze at the inside under the bridge. Kaiser Soze leaves him room, but Sociopath backs out of that one. He's a bit too wise. Now, the run down to the hairpin. Can Sociopath get the move done here? He looks too quick right now, but backs out of it.
Oh,
Fox is round!
Fox!
Fox is round. I'm sure we're going to hear some more about that one later. Fox does not look happy.
He managed to keep it reasonably well, though, to be fair.
Indeed, Sociopath is through, but look ahead. Alex Jarek now still all over the back of his teammate. Eddie Dust did not play the team game there. And just ahead
Fox
of them.
is in the pits, he's got wing damage.
Yeah, Hodgie running away at front, 2 seconds clear. The Alpha's still lying astern. Then you've got Sociopath, Dumbest Hornet, now up to P5. Kaiser Soze to P6, but look who it is. Oh my, we got a very late breaking Alpha Tauri there. I think that's Fanning, and there's been some contact with various cars. I think Gassian may have had some contact with Simba, who's now going past Rumax.
Yeah, Simba pitted under the safety car for a new set of inters. I don't know if he had damage or if it was just tactical, but he seems to have very good pace on this restart.
He does. There's a lot of ping pong going on there. Not great to see, and I'm sure we'll hear more later from various drivers. But Red Car Rambo up to P7 after his dangerous moment in qualifying somehow cost him his grid slot. Started from the back, up to P7 now. His teammate P6, Kaiser Soze, looking at the back of Dumbest Hornet. Ooh, Soze gets a bit late on the brakes, and that looks like he's got a better exit than Hornet as well. Could we see a move from Mercedes? We will. He's got the drive.
He has, he definitely has. I think Hornet had a bit of a moment out of the hairpin, and it's cost him there big time, so just slots in behind. But there's also a move coming back. Fanning, no, it's Gastiad, sorry, on Wumax it was, but he backed out just into the final corner.
Indeed. Now Wumax getting the power down, but Simba's got plenty of drive, stays ahead on track. Ooh, Simba's got a bit wide through turn 1. That's going to compromise him as turn 2. But Wumax doesn't have any grip through those first sequence of corners. Lorpy down in P16. Ooh, with a big switch. He knew he was on stream. He wanted to celebrate. It's not quite gone well for Lorpy today. Sambal P17. Fox now in P18 after the calamity there. But back to the front. Hodgie still got a 2-second lead to the Alfa Romeo duo. Eddie Dust is dropping Alex Ajeric.
Yeah, he definitely is. I wonder if any of these drivers are going to try the wet no stop that you can get away with.
You can, but your tyres die. And our in-garage reporter, Mandy Grantham, has reported that Simba did indeed have some wing damage. Thank you, Mandy.
Okay, so it wasn't a tactical stop like I thought it could have been then, but I mean, it's put him on fresh tyres, and he may well be able to go to the end now. Let's see, but
I think he will, but the tyres will be a little bit on the dead side.
But we also don't know if it's going to dry out, because it does look like it may, the rain, okay, no, it's definitely not stopped raining, but it does look lighter. Yeah,
the sun looks to be coming through the clouds, which is always a nice thing. Unless your name's Mark Hodgson, in which case you're looking at Eddie Dust gaining on you slowly but surely with the fast up the race. And if it does dry up, DRS will become available, therefore overtaking will become just a little bit easier.
Tell you what then, Mark's got a lot more of his ERS in hand than Eddie Dust does at the minute, so that's definitely a positive for him.
Ooh, Fanning on Red Car Rambo. Ryan and Fanning, of course, we mentioned earlier, good friends, but had that collision in qualifying. These two, when they fight, it gets very heated very quickly. Hodgie's got a penalty. He's got a track limit violation, and that could be crucial for the lead of this race later on. Oh wow. Hodgie now needs to get his foot down.
I'll tell you what though, Fox is already starting to rapidly catch this group. He's absolutely flying back there.
He is.
So
another person's flying is Simba. He's caught onto the back of this fight that Ryan and Fanning are having. So the 3-car fight is now getting very hot. Fanning with a big twitch coming out of the hairpin there. That will not have helped him in his pursuit of Red Car Rambo down the straight. Does that give Simba the chance to close up a little bit?
Good work. Former teammates, those two as well, remember, Simba and Red Car, so.
Yeah, well, Ryan's been teammates with both of them. He was teammates with Fanning for a while in McLaren in Tier 2 a few seasons ago.
Come contact between Genie and Monster in the last two corners. Oh, there's a house in the wall. I think it's B17. He's hit the pit wall.
He's on the inside, Genie into turn 1, and that's a goal. He's just kept on track. Great move from B17 to retake the position from Genie. And now Carl is right up Genie's rear ends. Carl giving a good sniff of that rear end of the Aston. He wants to see what's so good about it.
Definitely does. Wumax is still right on the back of Gatian as well. But Mark has really put his foot down now as well, knowing he's got that 3 seconds.
Indeed. Eddie Dust needs to get his foot down again. Alex is catching up again, now down to 1.5 the gap. Sociopath P4 having his own race right now. He's got no threat to fight ahead or behind. He's got a bit of a comfy gap. Soze with Dunners Hornet just keeping him in check. And then there's this epic fight now between Rekar Rambo, Fanning, Simba, Gatian, Wumax, Monster, B17, Genie, Bit and Lorpy are all tightly following each other. Look at that train as they go up the straight towards the final corner.
Yeah, definitely.
Here we go. Carl is going to make a move on Rob here. Oh no, he's saving his ERS. Very wise. Rob, meanwhile, looks like he's got a little bit less available than Carl has. Oh, Genie with a big switch on the final corner. That gives Carl the run on the way down to turn 1. Carl goes from what will become the inside of turn 1. He will be last on the brakes. Carl at the inside. Oh, there's a collision. Carl just keeps it on track though. There's a small collision between the two. He's still side by side. Rob tries to squeeze him on the exit. Now Carl has the outside for turn 3. He has to back out of that, unfortunately, just to keep it on track. But will he get another move on the way to turn 6 and 7? No, he very sensibly backs out of it.
Definitely does. I mean, Alex is starting to close the gap on Eddie now for P2 as well, so...
Yeah, Eddie's dropping off for Haji.
But the issue is Alex has also got 3 seconds, so... this could really end up still playing into Eddie's hand, especially if there's a late safety car.
Indeed. Now then, Rekar Rambo still has Fanning having a good sniff at his rear end. Oh, Fanning with a big twitch. Will that give Simba the run? Don't think he quite will on this occasion, but that will give Fanning something to think about. We know this Simba's on that newer tyre, 4-lap newer tyre as well, which will be slightly nicer for him to drive on later in the stint. Fanning very twitchy in the final corner, and that is just what the Fishy Lion needed. The Scouse Maestro does not defend in turn 1, but Simba knows better than to send one in these conditions.
The issue is for turn 1, if you're going to make a move, you pretty much have to be virtually dead on alongside by the time of the braking, don't you? Because it is quite a wide entry and then a very tight exit, so it could end in tears quite easily there. But I think Simba's just had a little twitch, and Gatian's right on the back of him now.
Gatian's missing a front end plate, by the way.
Oh, he is. He's just gone really deep at 6 as well, so that's just cost him. Now Wumax is going to start to really potentially gain a little bit here.
Indeed, the big news here though is Fanning is starting to drop off of Ryan. That slip stream he would be getting is getting lesser, and Simba will now really taste the blood in the Scouser. Doesn't have a move into the hairpin, but he is just getting himself nice and close. Goes to the deeper line to switch back. Will he get the run towards the chicane? Fanning gets great drive out that hairpin though.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, Alex could be about to make a move on Eddie as well.
Let's have a look at the Alfa Romeos. Are they going to play the team game?
Close enough.
They need to play the team game here. If I was the Alfa Romeo team principal, if my name was Andreas Seidel, I would be imploring these guys to play nicely. Bit picks up 3 seconds for time limit infringements.
Yeah, he does. Simba's still right on the rear end of Fanning as well, down in P9, so...
Indeed. Oh, look at that.
Big twitch out of 3.
Eddie Dust has gone very wide into 6. He's almost on a vessel-like move, and Alex has almost hit the back of him. But now Eddie Dust, I think, has learned he needs to play the team game. Lets Alex go. Eddie Dust finally, after holding Alex up in various situations, has backed out and let his teammates through. I think that's a little too late, because Hodgie's now got 4.3 seconds on them both. And Sociopath is just starting to get a little closer.
Definitely is. It's going to be interesting to see if this plays out now, because Mark has got a big old gap out in front now.
Indeed, oh, B17 making a move on Monster into the hairpin. Monster breaks late, a bit too late, and that's allowed B17 to have a sniff. But
bad thing,
shut
that's
the
a big
door.
twitch in P8. Here comes Simba.
Oh,
They're side by side.
That's a drag race, and Simba's got the position. Fanning doesn't put up a fight. He knows that he did not have the speed there to fight him. But Simba's had a bit of a rough final corner there. Fanning doesn't quite have the run to get him.
On the entry. Took a bit too much and it knocked
Here comes B17! B17 on the inside of Monster in turn 1! Monster very late on the brakes and B17 doesn't get the move done. Great battling. Great battling from the pair of them. Fantastic to see.
I tell you what though, that gap has actually got bigger between Mark and Alex out front as well, so...
Yeah.
No one seems to quite have the pace of Mark at the minute.
Yeah, Mark's in the comfort zone of not feeling the pressure, which is just where he wants to be. Someone else who's in the middle of a no pressure zone. Dumbest Hornet in P6 in the Aston Martin. Is it me, or has the rain stopped?
Let me have a look, let me go on board.
It's very light.
It has stopped, the rain has, yes.
I think it's either very light or it's stopped. Hornet's just set a personal best first and second sector. He's 3.5 tenths up on his best lap.
There are no drops on his car at the moment, so I think it may have stopped, which is going to change the whole complexion of this race now.
Indeedy.
Kaiser Sode's going to lose out as well, because if he has to stop now, he's got to serve that 5 seconds for the incident with Fox under the safety car as well, so...
I would rather serve it now than have it at the end of the race, though. You never know what could happen later on.
And he's got a bit of time back to him for Dumbest Hornet as well,
yeah,
so that is...
He'll only lose one position, and that'd be to Hornet if he does serve that penalty, so it's not the end of the world, and that brings him back into contention if there's an incident later in the race. Ooh, Eddie does very wide there.
Who gambles early, though? If you're Sambal, Fox, maybe, do you gamble a little bit earlier and try and get, you know, some time back on the early set of softs, or...
I don't know. I wouldn't want to risk it, to be honest with you. There's a drying line, but I wouldn't say it's anywhere near dry enough yet. There's still quite a lot of surface spray there. Should come under the bridge in particular. Look at the spray there. It looks okay at parts of the track, but just jump aboard the Alfa Romeo. I think we're not far away from this track drying up, but we're not there yet.
Yeah, it's definitely not dry enough yet, but it has 100% stopped raining, and it is definitely looking a lot brighter as well, so it's about getting the right call now though, really, isn't it? It's about picking that exact right moment for the inters. The issue for Mark is he doesn't get to, like, he's sort of the guinea pig here, because he's the one so far out in the lead. He's got to work it out for himself.
He can pit a lap later than anyone else and be safe, but crucially, someone who's not safe is Redcar Rambo. He's got Simba, his former teammate, all over the back of him.
Yeah, and these two do get on very well, but Ryan hasn't had the best exit out the final corner, and here comes Simba.
Side by side, wow, look at the run he's had. Simba's got the move done before the brake zone. Just keeps on track, and he will take that position, thank you very much. Although Ryan's going to try and come back at him. Doesn't look like he will on this occasion. Fanning's just snooping around behind, ready to pounce. His teammate Gassian in 10th. Woomax on the fight back from the back of the grid. Lorpy is out of the race. Now then, we have a full safety car. Where's Lorpy lost it?
Now.
Lorpy's lost it in the exit of turn 2 before turn 3.
Yeah. This now is going to be... I do expect potentially to see a few come in here. But
yeah, this is the gamble time. Do you pit for the dry tyres and pray that it dries up, or do you stay on the inters? If you're not on the top 10, you might as well gamble.
I tell you what, Lorpy's crash was absolutely massive. Fox has just drew... no, Sambo's
just drew
past it. Wow.
Hodgie's in. The race leader has pitted. I think he's going to go for the mediums.
Alex in as well. Eddie in. Everyone's coming in, I think. I'll be very surprised at this point. So
super driver
speeding.
Thomas Hornet sped into the pit lane. We're on board with him. He was going far too aggressively. Simba is also pitting. Is anyone going to continue? No, everyone's pitting. Oh, a lie. Woomax is gambled. Woomax is gambling. And I've got news for you. Hodgie put on another set of intermediates.
Oh, did he change his tyres though?
Hodgie has on a brand new set of intermediates.
Could this have just thrown away the race for Mark Hodgson? That's the question.
Soze and Simba on Breno Winters. B17's Breno Winters.
Thomas Hornish just spun out the pit lane.
B17's on Breno Winters. So we've actually got a handful of drivers on brand new Inters, and then everyone else is on brand new mediums, and then there's Sambao and Kaiser Soze on very old Inters. So clearly there's mixed opinions.
Strange. I wonder if maybe Mark's gone for them, and he's been told potentially there's rain on the way again soon.
More importantly, what if there's just not enough grip? He pulls away, the guys on the mediums have to pit or are too slow and waiting for it to dry out. Could he have played a blinder?
Eddie Dust is round. The man in second place, third place is round. Eddie Dust has just spun under the safety car.
And considering how slow these guys are going, obviously behind the safety car, there'll be no track temperature, no tyre temperature, and with a wet track still, there'll be no grip.
The issue is they've got to catch up with the pack as well, but Eddie Dust has now lost. Simba's also put new set of Inters on. So I wonder if the two McLaren drivers know something we don't.
I think they're playing safe, waiting to see if people bottle it, and then they'll pit for softs or mediums later.
I think they may have had a radio call saying that rain's gonna start again, because if you look, it is still cloudy. So
yeah, it's a gamble. Most of the field has gone for the medium.
This has just spiced it right up, though, hasn't it? It really has. So
Kaiser Soze, Wumax, and B17 are also on the Inters. It must be pointed out; those guys have stuck with it. Interestingly,
back in the pits.
Interesting. So he's clearly going back for the Inters. He doesn't think we're ready.
He had a spin. I do wonder if he's got wing damage. That could potentially. No, he's actually come back into Inters.
B17's in the pits on the Inters. Is he going to go for another set of mediums or another set of Inters?
It's raining again.
Yep, Genie's in. Oh wow, B17's gone for mediums.
Again.
I can't tell at this stage.
I'm on board with Hornet. Oh, Eddie Dust is round again.
Clearly then, the track is not ready for the drives.
Okay, so it's not raining yet. It's still not raining, but the guys on the mediums are definitely... Well, Eddie Dust in particular is definitely struggling. I wonder if Wumax is going to be the one laughing here, though, because he may have pulled an absolute blinder.
He's the only man to have not pitted under this safety car feature, and bear in mind he started at the back of the grid. He's now P4, and if the track is too wet for the dry tyres at the end of next lap, and people struggle, he could make up this 2 places between himself and Hodgie, which would be Sociopath and Alex Ajeric. And if he does that, well, when it dries out, he could then have a fight for the win with the Hodgson.
There is a dry line starting to appear, though.
Very slowly.
Very slowly. I have just watched Gatian go super deep in the hairpin as well. There is, even at them driving at literally a third of the speed, there is no grip at the moment.
Yeah, well, the tyres will be cold. Very cold.
Well.
Genie's with tyres. So he's on the mediums. He's just lost it at the chicane after the bridge section.
Fanning's back in for another set of mediums for Fanning, but he had wing damage, so he's gone into the wall under the safety car. But he's put mediums back on, so I wonder.
Eddie Dust has put Inters on.
Yeah, he was struggling like crazy on the mediums.
Mr. Calvin's in the chat saying the tyres are optimal temperature for mediums at the moment. He's got some inside information. It looks a little bit like there's a bit of spray on the track. That's the only thing.
Sector 1 is looking a lot drier than any other part of the track. But, because I've just watched Fanning and he looks like he's carrying a bit more confidence through there. But I still think Inters is the better tyre right now based off how the track looks. But B17's back in again for another set of Inters. So
he's going to run out of tyres soon.
I'm wondering if we're going to get an extra lap of the safety car now as well.
I think it'll be in this lap. I think that there it is, confirmation in this lap. The 2 Haas drivers at the back of the field need to hurry the hell up if they want to be on the formation for the restart.
The thing is, though, what Mark needs to do is hope though that this track takes forever to dry up and hope that he can build a safety car gap to Alex.
Well, the pit stop here is actually very quick, and if there is a safety car, or even a VSC, the pit stop the loss in the pit stop's less than 10 seconds. So Hodgie's dream right now is that there's a VSC in 3 laps or so, maybe 5 laps tops, and that everyone then pits again for a set of mediums or softs, or that he's got the gap. He will have a much better start on the restart here, and look at him pulling away. That's not even funny, he's just gone. Womack's just waiting, having to back out of it because he's on much nicer tyres, couldn't make the move. And oh look, the dry tyres are going straight on at turn 1. The guys in the Inces are just driving straight around them. So, Kaiser Soze and Womack's just driving around it. Womack's has met a moment. Soze at the P2. Simba P4. Now Dumbest Hornet the next one to watch. He's in P8. Eddie Dust already back up to P11 after dropping way down the order. It's quite clear then, the medium tyres, despite Insider Calvin information saying it's perfect for the mediums right now. Look at Dumbest Hornet just driving around the outside of Red Car Rambo.
Hornet.
Just drive round
Even
Ryan.
though he's on the better tyre, that's still brave.
Yeah, it's quite clear then the mediums right now, it's not working.
Alex has gone straight on and
Sociopath.
Thomas has made contact with Sociopath a little bit there.
Wow. Hopefully it's not got any damage. Here comes Eddie Dust.
Well.
Eddie Dust was down in 14th, 15th at one point a minute ago. He's now up to 6th. And there's his teammate, Alex, just ahead of him. Back to the front though, Mark is just checked out again.
He has. It's like goodbye, but he needs to make sure that gap stays at least above what it needs to be to Kaiser Soze, because he's obviously got that penalty, hasn't he? So.
Oh, Sociopath. Yep, a Sociopath sped on the way into the pit lane there, so he's followed him in. And Monster's in too.
Are they wondering if it's time? Is Dumbest Hornet coming in for a set of drive? Oh no, he had a drive-through. Dumbest Hornet had a drive-through, that's what it was, okay. So, and as did, who was the other one to get a drive-through earlier? I can't remember who it was.
I'm not sure, but look at that, B17's just gone around the outside a bit, and now swoops to the inside to take Fox River. He's just taken both the Ferraris coming out of turn 2 on the way to turn 3. Oh, we got a car round. It's no, it's Gassian's round. Gassian's dropped it on the way down the hill, but turn 4. Now B17's on the back of Red Car Rambo. It's clear. The intermediates are still firing up.
I'll tell you what, Simba is really right on the back of Womack's right now. Womack's is struggling. I think his Inters are actually starting to die after 21 laps, so...
Yeah, although he's still going to have more pace than the guys on dries. Simba now having a look at the back of him. Will Simba get the move done?
It's definitely a possibility. Mark's just set the fastest lap. This track is taking an awful long time to dry, considering it has stopped raining. So, do we think we could even get to dries here?
I think it will, but we'll have to wait and see. Fanning and Bits having a little tussle on track for P11 and P12. Dumbest Hornet back in P10, having pitted again. His next victim potentially will be Fox River, and he's going to have him here easy. Fox has got no grip. If you're on the dry tyres right now, Fanning and Bit both pit. If you're on the dry tyres right now, I would be very tempted to pit. Just get the Inters on, get yourself to the end. Oh, yeah. Dumbest Hornet's collided with Red Car Rambo. Ryan lost it, I think. Dumbest just collected him as he was sideways. Very unfortunate for both of them.
He had a bit of a lack of traction there, Ryan did, on the exit, that's for sure, but...
The lead car on the mediums is Alex Ajeric. Alex is 19 seconds off the race lead and increasing by the moment. Red car is out of the session. That surely will be a safety car. It is a full safety car. Oh, wow.
I do wonder if we may see a lot of the dry tyres come in for Inters again here.
Yeah, them on the restarts are always a lot slippier. Womack's is pitting. What tyre will Womack's put on?
These safety cars do not help Hodgson, do they?
No.
Penalty.
He's run away and then got pulled back in. Womack's puts on a medium. Womack's has gone to mediums.
The track is looking drier than it did last time, but it's still nowhere near dry tyres, so...
No. So, if we just look here, Hodgie, Soze, Simba, Eddie, Womack's, B17 in the top 6, all apart from Womack's are on Inters. Then you've got Alex Jarek on the mediums, staying on the mediums. Dumbers Hornet, Monster on the inters. Fox on the mediums. Will he pit? He does pit. I think Fox is going back to the inters. Sociopath also pitting. What will Gassian do? Gassian continues. Fanning is back on the inters again now, and he's staying on them, as is Vit.
Fox has put another set of mediums on.
That's an interesting call.
I'm almost surprised he didn't go for track position there, if I'm being completely honest.
I think he should have stayed out. If he was going to stay on the mediums, he should have stayed out. But I would have gone for the inters. If I'm going to pit, I'd be on the inters now.
But I guess at the same time, if the track does quickly dry up, then at least he's on brand new tyres, so... Well, we shall see.
Whilst the drivers make their way around behind the safety car, shall we talk about Nicholas Gotifi?
Yeah, I mean, Abu Dhabi 2021?
No, I said Nicholas Gotifi, not the crash.
Yeah, the crash. That was the most iconic part of that race. Oh no, it wasn't. Sorry.
Anyway,
Nicholas Latifi, yes.
So Nicholas Latifi, what is Nicholas Latifi up to now post F1?
I couldn't tell you. Oh, Fox is in the wall! Sorry, take away the Latifi chat again, but Fox just went in the wall.
He doesn't look to have had any damage. Hopefully that is the case.
Yeah. But go Tiffy anyway, let's get this chat done. Boy Max is back in as well.
So, obviously, Latifi, after leaving Williams last season, I don't believe he's doing anything.
I mean, are you surprised?
Yes! There was talk that he was going to move to IndyCar, but I don't believe he actually did find anything. He's not in World Endurance, he's not in IndyCar, and it's weird because
Formula E?
He's not in that either, and it's weird because Jacques Villeneuve, when he left Formula 1, went back to stateside. And obviously,
I did think Latifi would be a possibility for Formula E, because
I thought he'd go to IndyCar.
But a lot of the F1 rejects tend to go to Formula E, don't they?
Yeah, like Bruno Senna, Lucas de Grassi, Sebastian Buemi, Jean-Eric Verne, Charles Pic, well. Nick de Vries,
Van Dorn,
Stoffel Van Dorn, yeah. All the guys who don't quite cut the mustard in F1.
Giovinazzi may have gone now.
Giovinazzi did briefly, yeah. He did have a stint there.
Yeah. So, but, I mean, hopefully we see Nicholas Gotifi on screens near you sometime soon. I think we can get him in MRC.
Oh, we could do that. He's not good enough for MRC. But what else is not good enough? Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, please turn off now.
Click off.
Mute it now, right? Because the FIA are a joke.
No, don't even go there, honestly.
Did Alonso get the podium, and then lose the podium, and then get the podium? How does that happen? How does that happen?
The worst bit for me is the fact that they sorted the Ocon thing within 5 laps. And then the fact that they've taken 35 laps to give him a penalty, to then give him the penalty and then take it away. And not only in that time, you've also already handed the trophy over to George Russell as well. Like, make it make sense. But, you know, you'd never get that at MRC. Just saying. Would we, Chris?
What I want to see in MRC is Connor Hardy win a championship.
Well, I mean, that's like asking the FIA to actually be good. It's never going to happen.
Well, with that actually, maybe. Will the safety car be in this lap? I think it will be. I know we've got a few cars still lurking at the back, and it is in this lap. So, Sambal, Fox, and Sociopath, catch up quickly, boys. Because Hodgie once again has to lead the cars around the final back straight again. This track is still looking wet. Most drivers are now on the inters, whereas on the last few restarts, most of them on the mediums. So clearly everyone has learned from the last few restarts that actually this is still not quite ready for the medium tyre, or the soft tyre, or the hard tyre. Here we go. When is Hodgie going to go? I think he's going to have to go a bit earlier this time. He went late the last 2 times. He does not want to get caught out. Soze is ready to pounce. And here we go. On board with Soze, and Hodgie's got his foot down very much in the same place for the last 2 times. Here we go, into turn 1.
Eddie Dust has had a little look and he's actually lost out to Simba again, so now Simba's back ahead of him.
B17 and P5, by the way, ahead of Alex. Alex now behind Dumbest Hornet. He's just gambling on the medium tyres coming good. Now Monster having a look at the inside. Alex is falling through the field. Next is Fanning to have a look in. And Alex has hit the wall! And that's cost him 2 positions, make that 3. As Gassian and Bits make their way through.
His wing seems okay though, so that's quite important.
Rumax is side by side with Sociopath, both on the mediums, both pitted for mediums in that safety car, and they're both having a rubbish time for it. All the medium runners are out of the points as it stands.
Definitely are, but there is, in the middle sector, it's looking a touch dry. There's less spray coming off the tyres now as well, so I think it is starting to dry.
But we're already in the gap for Sociopath, Rumax and Fox, where they are that far behind. Even Alex as well, but Alex and Fox's tyres are that much older, they will probably have to pit again. I think their tyres might be burnt out from all the wheel spin they've been incurring in the rain. Soze then is not letting Hodgie run away. Soze wants his first tier 2 win. He's keeping him very much in check. Within a second, Simba only another second behind. Eddie Dust all over him. Half a second is the gap, another half a second to B17. The top 5 all very competitive at this stage.
Yeah, Eddie, they definitely are.
Indeed. Who are you watching, Connor?
Are going to play a big point here.
Yes.
At the minute I'm watching the battle between Dumbest Hornet and all the way down to Carl. And penalties, you've got B17 on 9, Dumbest on 6, Monster on 6, Fanning on 3 and Bit on 6. And if the mediums do start to come back to these guys, if they can claw that back at least a little bit, they could still end up with good points here. But it has to dry quickly.
Or if there's a late safety car, that absolutely ruins the day of everyone with a penalty.
Yeah, it definitely does. But I'll tell you something, Sociopath's pace on the mediums doesn't look awful. He's actually starting to catch now Alex. Alex is struggling like crazy on them.
Yeah, Alex's tyres are 6 laps older than Sociopath's. Hodgie, personal best and session best, 19.0. 1.3 clear off Kaiser Soze. Eddie Dust now firmly in the fight with Simba and Soze. Oh, we got yellow flag in front of the corner. It's one of the Alphas, I believe.
I think it was Alex Edgerick. It looked like it. He had a moment.
Here we go. Yeah, it is. He's behind Sociopath now, so you're right. The pace for Sociopath is much better, and Alex is definitely losing out on the grip.
Soze's had a moment though, because he's hit the wall. Soze's hit the wall, but I think he's got away with damage. But he definitely clipped that wall, and he's lost a lot of time to Mark as well.
Indeed, Simba picks up a track limit penalty at the bridge chicane, and he's got Eddie Dust all over him. The pressure is on the Lion King.
Oh, he's missed his breaking point a little bit into the hairpin as well. Mark's gone super deep.
Fine. He'll get a great exit on it. He'll get a great exit there. He'll be fine.
He came very, very close to the rear end of Kaiser Soze then. Wow, that was close. But I think
we go. Soze's Eddie Dust having a look at Simba with the chicane. Doesn't quite get the move done. That will accost him, and will that give B17 the chance to get a move done? Hodgie with another fastest lap. He's 2.5 seconds clear. Gassian with another track limit penalty. B17 is very quietly bringing himself into contention here. The Valentino Rossi fanboy is having the day of his life.
Seconds, though. That's the only slight issue, so.
He's having fun. Everyone behind him has got a penalty too, so it won't be too big a deal.
He's definitely looking fine, but I tell you something, Sandbow's had a moment somewhere, because Sociopath's no, sorry, I've got that wrong, ignore me. But Gatian as well now, he's starting to pressure Carl for P9, so
I feel like B17 could make a move here on Eddie Dust or Kaiser Soze or Simba. if something happens, I feel like he's got enough pace to actually get a job done here.
Yeah, he definitely does.
Speaking of getting a job done, Mark has now got that 2.9-second lead. He's almost got the 3-second penalty gap that he was hunting for. B17 looks so confident into the hairpin. Under braking, he's got lots of grip.
Simba can really help Mark out here with the team game a little bit, because I feel like the two quickest of this top gaggle of cars look like Eddie Duff and B17 at the minute, and they could be the ones that bring it to Mark late on. So
B17 takes a lot of curb on the chicane there. Almost questionable.
He definitely does, but Simba will be kicking himself a little bit here because it's going to cost him the podium, that penalty, by the looks of it. But it will still be a strong showing for him and McLaren today.
Indeed. I mean, as it stands, obviously both championships are very open. It's only the second round, but McLaren double podium looks great for them right now.
Oh, Fat!
Wow.
He just got so close to the ball on the exit of 4.
Yeah, the AlphaTauri chasing down the Williams of Mornster. Mornster was eager this morning when he spoke to me, saying he wanted points. Not points in his licence, not points for Aston Villa, but points for himself in Tier 2. B17 now with 12 seconds of penalties. That is not what he wanted to be doing.
I'll tell you something, Dumbest Hornet is probably just cost himself big time here as well. He's just got a 9-second, he's just up to 9 seconds of penalties now, and he may not be safe to car with that.
No,
so,
I think right now, yeah, the penalty gap is huge.
He may even end up 10th here. He may even end up 10th here.
Here we go, Safety Pav having a look at Simba. Simba defends late.
Definitely does. It's looking... Oh, there's a hash round. B17's gone round at the final corner. There's a safety car.
Oh dear.
Yeah, B17's lost his front wing in completely. This has probably just cost Mark the race win.
Possibly bit with a 5-second penalty. Ooh.
I'll tell you something, right? If those guys with mediums on now,
Sociopath pits for softs. It's worth a gamble.
For inters, they could be on for very big points here. All of them.
It's worth a gamble. Alex is in too. I think if you're not in the points, you pit for a set of soft tyres and nothing but softs right now. It's worth a gamble. I mean, Eddie Dust and Kaiser Sosa right now are laughing. Inters? Oh, Foxy Bingo. And the safety car will be in at the end of next lap, no matter what. So,
to be fair, on board with some of these drivers, that track does still probably look slightly more inters. But soft will probably work just as well at this point. So
yeah, it's worth a gamble.
But either way, every car is on the same tyre as Fox anyway. So Fox could still really be on for big points here. Like, most of the drivers genuinely could. Those guys have literally just been saved by this safety car. Whereas if you're Mark and Simba, you're going to be absolutely kicking yourself.
Oh, Sociopath's out! Sociopath's just put the softs on, he's just crashed.
Yeah. B17, Gatian's come in as well, which is interesting. I wonder if Gatian's going to go for a set of softs as well. Yeah.
So, keep us updated on this. So we're looking at the penalties here. Hodgie will get 2 racing laps to pull 3 seconds on Soze. He needs Simba to do him a favour and get ahead of Soze and hold him up. Just behind him, Eddie Dust and P4. It looks like Soze and Eddie Dust could inherit podiums regardless of what happens to other people if they just keep it clean. And then of course, huge penalty for Monster, Dumbest Hornet, Bit and B17 will definitely cost them positions. The question is how much?
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting this restart, because the guys without penalties are obviously absolutely laughing. Like, absolutely laughing. The guys with penalties are probably right now crying their eyes out. So,
Safety car in this lap.
Be staring at his first. I tell you what though, the
Gatian
guys...
P9's not caught up yet, and all the guys who pitted haven't caught up.
Yeah, they're going to be absolutely kicking themselves because they probably aren't going to catch up. Well, to be honest, it all depends how late Mark decides to go. Because obviously they've got a whole straight to navigate here at slow speed. Let's see.
Gassian will catch up, but B17's not going to catch up. Here we go, and Hoji's going. He's gone already.
That track is looking very dry now, may I add, as well.
It looks inviting. And Gassian has just caught the back of the field. B17 didn't quite get there. So, Carl has a look at Fanning that does just keep on track. That looks to me like it's suddenly very dry. I think the guys on softs, if they can get in the mix, could be in for some fun here.
Yeah, they definitely could. But it's now about navigating these final 2 laps without a single mistake as well. That's the other vitally important thing.
The pressure's on Hoji. Mark has to push like crazy to pull the gap on Soze. This is for the race win. Soze likewise needs to push hard so that he doesn't lose position to Simba. Crucially stays within that 3 seconds. He's got a lap and a half to go. Can he hang on?
Yeah, he's definitely going to be interesting. I mean, to be honest, Simba and Mark are probably protected. Well, they definitely are protected from dropping any lower than 4. That's for sure.
Simba's having a look at Soze. He's very close to him. Simba has to make the move. This is for his teammate. If he can get the move on Soze, who's using a loss of ERS to stay ahead, then this could help his teammate get the win.
Yeah, it definitely could, but he wasn't quite close enough. But he's had a much better exit. Simba has hit the grass on the exit as well, though.
Indeed, 1 second is the gap between first and second as we start the final lap. Can Simba do his teammate a huge favour? We still haven't got DRS active. Gassian has not quite caught Bit, by the way, despite being close at the end of the safety car sequence. He's not quite caught him. So the softs haven't worked. The soft gamble did not work.
I think we're literally right now on the crossover point. That's what I think we're on. Because the gap hasn't really increased, but it hasn't decreased either, so...
Indeed. Fox River on the inters with the fastest lap.
On inters, so that maybe confirms what we thought, yeah.
Indeed, so it's a huge moment in the chicane, and that could just be Simba's opportunity to make a move. And if Simba can make a move, that could be Hodgie's race. No, he doesn't have a move here.
He's
2
got
seconds
3
of the
corners
gap.
to navigate.
I think Soze's going to hang on here. So, Simba's had a moment on the chicane. That leaves Eddie Dust all over him now. We'll have to cut to Hodgie as he comes around the final corner because I think
big moment.
he's going to
Alex
cross
is
the line.
round. He's in the wall.
Hodgie rounds the final corner. He's going to take the win on track, but I don't think he's going to take it after penalties. Soze will be the winner. He crossed the line to take the win. Mark has P2. Eddie does P3. Simba is P4. Fanning after penalties is up to P5. Great result. Monster P6 for Williams. Gassian P7. Dumas Hornet P8. Carl McBissy-Edens P9 and B17 with a... No! Oh wow, hold on a minute.
Yeah, Wimax just did enough.
Wimax just snuck P9 with the penalties.
Had a slight... Yeah, Cole had an extra 5 seconds, which I think the stewards may remove when he crossed the line.
He did, but so, provisionally, Wimax P9, Bit P10, B17 unfortunately P11, Fox River P12 with a fastest lap, Alex Lejeune P13, and Sambao 14th final runner across the line. Wow, what a chaotic race.
That was quite a confusing race as well, with strategies as well. So.
Yeah, the tyre situation with the inter at the end was baffling to say the least. But well done to everyone who made it to the line. That was a great drive from lots of drivers, but nonetheless, Dakota Soze, great drive for his first Tier 2 win.
No, I think it's his second. I do think he won one last season, but this season, yes, it's his first win. But yeah, some drive from him. I think a lot of drivers were very, very unfortunate. I think the drivers that did all those laps in those conditions on the drives deserve an awful lot of credit as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. Great job for Soze. Who's your driver of the day, Connor?
That's a hard one to pick. Let me just go onto the screen for the timings. I think I'm going to go with... Do you know what? Fanning, P5.
He had a great drive from the back end, the final 5 of the grid. That's a great drive. Let's share it. I feel like we need to share it again today. So Soze for his first win in Tier 2 and Fanning for that crazy comeback.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
16th for 50 Fanning, 6th to a first Tier 2 win for Kaiser Soze. They are our joint drivers of the day. Fantastic result from both of them. Wow, what a race. I mean, our predictions didn't quite go to plan. I predicted Lorpe and he finished P8. Who did you predict again, Connor? I've
Eddie
forgotten.
Justin, he was third.
Well, there you go. Your prediction went well.
Yeah. To be fair, he probably is a contender for his comeback with
Oh, yeah, he gambled on strategies there several times and it paid off for him. So, congratulations to Eddie of the Dust. If you enjoyed that, and I know you did, don't get too complacent because Tier 1 action will bring you some more of what you've just seen in 24 minutes live from the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal. But for now, thank you from myself and from Connor. It's been a
yeah.
thrill and a pleasure, and we will see you soon. Have a lovely evening and good night.
Bye.